And I just have to say, I always said, you know, the three words that I heard most often when I traveled around this state. Well, that was late.
Welcome to Iowa.
Welcome to Iowa. I want to thank the Iowans who are up here on stage. You were introduced to many of them. Folks who stood up when no one else was standing up. Folks who, when I was sitting at single digits in the polls, believed in the message and the messenger, believed in the cause, and were willing to stand behind us and do what was not popular in the world today. Lead. They led. And to each and every one of you, I want to thank you for leading, for doing what was necessary to promote the cause of liberty. Thank you, including Matt Schultz. I have to particularly give a shout out to the guy who really helped us on the ground here as a volunteer late, became a little bit of a symbol of the campaign, the owner of the Chuck truck. I love that graphic. I don't really often talk about the New York Times, but I love that graphic in the New York Times. It had how the entourages traveled around the state. And there were these long rows of buses and people and airplanes and SUVs and people and staff. And then all the way at the bottom was the Chuck truck, me, and Matt, and one of my kids. That was the most. Chuck Lawton. I started with this, I'm going to end with it. You know, I haven't written a whole bunch of books in my life. I've written just one. It's called It Takes a Family. I started my speech talking about my wife, and I'll end it talking about the other gems in my life. 6 of my kids are up here: Elizabeth, John, Daniel, Sarah Maria, Peter, and Patrick. They have not seen much of their dad over the past several months, yet they've stood by me every step of the way, encouraged me, and loved me unconditionally. There's another little girl who's not here tonight. She is with the little button. She's our little angel. That's Isabella Maria. Isabella Maria, we don't take her out in crowds. She has a disability. She has a disability that has according to the records, the statistics, has a 1% chance of survival after 1 year. She is 3.5 years old. So Bella is here with us in spirit and is deeply embedded into my heart. People ask me what motivates me. I say the dignity of every human life. God has given us this great country to allow His people to be free. Has given us that dignity because we are a creation of His. And we need to honor that creation. And whether it's the sanctity of life in the womb or the dignity of every working person in America to fulfill their potential, you will have a friend in Rick Santorum. We are off to New Hampshire. We are... Because the message I shared with you tonight is not an Iowa message or an Iowa and South Carolina message. It is a message that will resonate across this land. It will resonate, I know, in New Hampshire, because you think I've been in Iowa a lot. I've been to New Hampshire 30 times and have been more times and done more events than anybody but John Huntsman, and he cheats, he lives there. We will be in New Hampshire. We'll leave tomorrow. We'll spend our time there. And with your help and God's grace, we'll have another fun night a week from now. God bless you.
Former Senator Rick Santorum hugging his wife there, talking about his family. An amazing story tonight.